Call the meeting of the Port Orange Planning Commission order for Thursday, January 23rd. If you all please rise, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a solemn invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you very much. If you'll call the roll, please.
John Junko.
Here.
Bo Bofamy.
I'm here.
Maria Mills-Bennett.
Here.
Lance Green.
Is here.
Newton White.
Here.
Stan Schmidt.
Here.
Chairman Thomas Jordan.
Here. Thank you very much. All present and accounted for today. Next item on our agenda here is the election of officers. So we need to be choosing and voting on a chair and a new vice chair. Do I have a nomination for chairman of this planning
I'd
commission?
like to nominate John Junko.
You have a second?
For chair,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to nominate Maria.
No, I'm looking for a second on,
Oh.
just first.
No, I'm not gonna second.
Lack of a second.
Vice chair, I'm sorry, I said chair, didn't
You did.
I? Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry.
We're on chairs
Yeah.
so right now. Well, you have had a rough week.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other nominations for
Maria's
chair?
vice chair now.
Chair, I nominate Maria for chair.
Very good. We have a second?
Second. Maria is the vice chair now, right?
She is.
You're giving up the throne right now.
That would be
Yeah.
correct, yes, typical. As we have a nomination and we have a second. Any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, I assume we'll accept Maria by acclamation.
Yeah, you
I
accept.
accept.
You accept, yeah, then you hand over the
You want
gavel.
to speak?
Okay.
Then you're the
Speech?
officer for
Give a
next year.
speech.
Accept
No.
the
You
speech
limit
now?
to 20 minutes.
All right.
No acceptance speech tonight, maybe next time.
Do I do vice chair or does she do vice chair?
She does.
She does.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, cool. I'm done. I can go home.
Gosh, don't run away so fast. Help me out here. Thank you, sir.
Just slide a chair over.
All right, so now we need nominations from the floor on vice chair. Bo, would you like to redo your nomination?
No, you should.
It's been a rough week. I'd like to nominate John Junko for vice chair.
I'll second that.
Any opposed? Any other nominations? Nope. Do we need to vote, or he just slides in the roll?
Aye. All those in favor say aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Congratulations.
Thank you, I have a speech? No, I'm kidding.
I didn't say a speech, you're not allowed to say a speech. Okay. Consideration of minutes. Can I get a motion to accept last meeting minutes from 12/19/19?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
John Junko.
Here?
Bo Bofamy.
Here. Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Oh, yes, whatever.
I'm sorry, you had me, call me?
Yes.
Force of habit.
Lance Green.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Stan Schmidt.
Yes.
Chairman Mills-Bennett.
Yes. And Penny.
Good evening, Penelope Cruz. Before we get started with the rest of the agenda, Commission, I'd just like to put on the record that the applicant for items 7 and 8 have contacted staff and requested that both items be continued to a date certain of February 27th, 2020, which is next month's meeting.
So we're gonna table?
Continued to a date certain of February 27th.
Okay.
Awesome. So we will jump to item number 9.
No, we're still starting on number 6, though.
We still got.
Oh yeah, I skipped 6. Item number 6, application for variance of 475 Leslie Drive, case number 19-90000008. You don't look like Brianna.
No, Brianna could not make it tonight. I'm sorry, you're stuck with me.
We love you, so it's okay.
Thank you. Penelope Cruz Planning. The subject site is located at 475 Leslie Drive on the northeast side of Leslie Drive in the Spruce Creek Village subdivision. The applicant's requesting to reduce the front building setback from 25 feet to 10 feet. The subject property is currently vacant with a portion of the rear yard consisting of marshland. The subject property is a platted lot of record in the Spruce Creek Village subdivision, platted in 1974, with approximately 109 lots and an area designated for recreation abutting the rear lots of 20 through 32. Since the platting of the subdivision, the topography of the land has changed along the rear of the property. And according to the United States Geological Service LiDAR mapping imagery, it shows the rear 20 to 45 feet of the subject property consisting of marshland, which has resulted in the dimensional constraints in the property that bring us before you here tonight. Due to those dimensional constraints on the property, the applicant was requesting a 10-foot front setback for the proposed installation of a mobile home on the lot. The Land Development Code requires stabilization of the property and construction to occur landward of the high water line. Based on that stabilization requirement in the Land Development Code, staff is recommending that the mobile home be placed a minimum of 5 feet from that high water line. So the 10-foot minimum setback that is being requested tonight is the minimum variance request to be able to locate that mobile home on the property safely without disturbing the marshland. Staff is recommending approval based on the review criteria in your staff report and is here to answer any questions you may have.
Questions, Lance?
So, is the recreation area now is all marshland, correct?
That's just what they called it on the plat. It was always that. That's just the label that was given on the plat in 1974.
Yeah, but if we
Can't
gave
say
it
why.
that label today, it would still be recreational area. It would be an area of common area, it would be area of upland or something that was gonna be usable, that was calculated into the space, but,
Staff wouldn't give that label today. Today, we'd probably put it in some sort of a conservation easement or something like that. We wouldn't have lots platted into it.
okay.
But this was done, it's a legal lot of record from a plat in 1974, so.
Okay.
Good. Newton?
What is the square or the lot between the subject property and the existing mobile home to the south?
The square,
Or what is the piece of land that's in between the subject property and the existing home to the south?
it's another lot on the plat. You can see, so this is, if you can see my mouse, this
Lot
is,
22,
so this is lot 21, it's the next lot.
22.
Mm-hmm.
Is that gonna
Are
be
they
one?
on 2 lots?
Is that gonna be
No, it's
one or
one.
2 lots between that and the existing home?
There is no so this lot's vacant. This is the
Mhm.
lot that we're here for tonight. It's vacant. The applicant is looking to be able to get a reduced setback to be able to place a mobile home on this lot.
Yes.
There's nothing on the lot to the south. We're only here about lot 21.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not sure I understand your question then.
I'm concerned about granting the variance on this, that we'll be forced to grant a variance on the other ones.
Every variance is a case-by-case situation.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Stan?
Is there, I know you guys have made the recommendation we pass this, have staff gone out and kind of looked at the sight lines? Because I noticed you're
Yes.
sort of on a curve.
Yes, so engineering staff has gone out, and they've gone out during a king tide. They're here today if you'd like to ask them any questions.
All right, so the,
I'm the owner of the land, if you have any questions for me, because I did the law before.
We'll ask.
hang
in
on
just
just a
a-
second.
I'm sorry, I just came in this one,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, that's a concern, and I think I read in here too that, it sounded like there was a little bit of a concern about the back boundary as far as where the marsh was ended and whether or not you could get this fit on the land.
So staff went out
Right,
during a king tide to see where that highest point of that high water line is. And based on that and based on the LiDAR imaging, that's where the minimum of a 10-foot setback came. That would provide enough space to put the mobile home on the property with the stabilization needed to the part of the property where the mobile home would go, and still give a 5-foot clearance from the high water line.
okay.
You good?
I'll hold on for now, yeah, go ahead.
John?
Is that property slope, I mean, is there gonna be a stem wall to support the mobile home? How is that structure gonna be level? Because I'm assuming it's sloping down into the wetlands or the marsh area.
Speak to that. I don't know. I'll let engineering speak to
Okay.
that.
I wouldn't look at it, John, so yeah, it is.
State your name, please.
Margaret Tomlinson, Construction Engineering Manager. The property does slope slightly towards the marshland. They will need to bring in some fill to set the mobile home properly on the property.
So what kind of, are they gonna be doing, columns? What's their nature of elevating the mobile home, keeping it up? Is it gonna be,
We don't have a building permit yet,
They don't know.
but typically
Oh,
that
they-
is what,
they gonna use a concrete block stem wall or something like that?
typically they use concrete blocks, but
Okay.
we don't really have the details yet.
Sir, you can't, you can't speak from back there, so hold that thought.
Okay. There's no wetlands in that, I mean, it's a marsh area, so it has no problems with St. John's, water management?
Nope.
No conflicts with any of that?
No conflicts.
Okay. I noticed on the survey earlier, I'm just curious, because it's an old survey, is that a dock it's drawn in where it's showing the recreation area? Because they have one on either end and one in the middle. What is that little, is that a?
No, those are just lines. Oh, this over here. No, that's the drainage easements.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was.
It's just,
I didn't know.
it's showing the drainage easement that's here. And then they just, have notes on the plat that's, they have another one here. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And the marsh will remain a marsh because sometimes the grass will start to encroach into a constructed area, just naturally start you mowing it. It's going to remain untouched, left as a marsh.
Yeah, I mean, that was the intent of the reduced
Okay.
setback, is to be able to place the mobile home in a way and still have 5-foot clearance from the marsh so that there's no fill or no impact on that marsh line
That's
at
my-
the highest,
that's
at the
the-
highest point.
Those are the focus of the question, is how much it's
Mhm.
going to disturb that area. That's
It,
why
the
I
intent
wanted
is
to
not
know.
at all. You're not allowed to disturb it at all. So
Okay.
that's why we wanted to make sure there was at
All right.
least, they could have asked for a bigger setback rather than 10, but then you'd be right up on the high water
Okay.
line, and we wanted to make sure that they were away from that.
All right, thank you.
Bo?
What is this a floodplain?
Is this property? No.
So, it looks like it's right on top of the marsh area and, that
So-
wetland area.
So the marsh areas here, that's the high water line here. This
Right.
is all upland here, and that's where they plan on putting the mobile home if this is approved, without impacting the marsh at all.
Are there other units on this property?
This lot is vacant.
What about the other lots? All of them are built out?
Most of them.
There's nothing, there's other, hold on one second. You can see here that, other areas that don't back to the marsh. There are other, these lots here from 21 down, there are other lots that have mobile homes on them.
Uh-huh.
The few just south of it are not, they're vacant. But there are other ones that back to what was on the plat as recreation area, what we know now as marshland.
Are they owner occupied? Do we know?
I don't know about all of them.
Okay, that's-
Yeah,
that's all.
it is a subdivision. They are. It's not a park.
Okay.
So it's a mobile home subdivision. So typically, you're either owner or a renter from the owner of the land.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, so this is definitely not a conservation area. There's no issues with St. John's and encroachment, right?
Mm-mm.
At the risk of opening up a really weird discussion, scary one, are there mangroves on the back of this lot?
Oh, no.
No.
No? Okay. Alrighty.
There's gopher turtles in
Just wanted to ask. So, from what I could see from the plat, the large plat,
Mhm.
this the area for recreation actually extends fairly deep into this marshy area. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I can't speak to why they did that on that plat in '74. Like I said, if this were to come before the city today, that is not how it would be labeled. It would be conservation with a conservation easement over it and a buffer.
Yeah.
And
Right. So it's just part of the overall plat.
It's the '70s, man.
You
Okay.
remember the 70s?
that old.
Thanks.
I have nothing, so,
Can I do a follow-up question,
Yeah.
Madam Chairman? I was looking at the staff report, and in section E, we talk about the requesting of the variance will not confer with a special privilege. And in this verbiage here, it talks about, we're concerned about the high water line, but staff is recommending an additional 5-foot minimum rear setback from the high water line to safely install the mobile home. So we're moving it, I guess, basically west, is that what's going on?
So originally, the applicant was thinking that he was gonna request, maybe like a 15-foot
Right.
front setback. After staff went out there on the king tide, it was recommended that he actually
So just
request
move
the
it 5
10-foot
foot.
to provide that 5-foot clearance from that high water line at the high tide, so that we make sure that they're not gonna disturb the marshland. So that's why, it ended up being a 10-foot front setback request.
Good.
I have another question.
okay.
And I'm probably the only one here that doesn't know this. What is the Bert J. Harris private property rights protection act?
It's regarding takings, like
Regarding-
a, takings, a claim of takings, that somebody has taken somebody's property rights.
All right, thank you.
So do you guys want to hear from the engineers, or are we good and ready to make a motion after
We should hear
hearing
about
public?
everybody.
I wanna hear
I'd like
from
to
the
hear
applicant.
everything.
Yeah?
The applicant.
Okay. Can we get the applicant to come forward? Please state your name and address.
First of all, I want to apologize for trying to talk
You're
over.
fine.
I'm sorry.
You're
I just
totally
came
fine.
in, that's why. I don't know the rules. My name is Lassad Minif, and my actual address is 22 Elder Lane, and I'm the owner of this land.
Okay.
And if you want me to start first to clarify some points, or if you have any
Go
questions,
for it.
whatever. Okay, so when I bought this land, it was all Brazilian pepper. And as you see, the land on my right is empty land too. So I thought the land is going wide instead of length. Because I live just a block down on Elder Lane, and the mobile home I live on is the same exact position of my land that I bought. So I get a land clearing permit. After we clear the land, we find out that mulch. As you see on the picture she showed you, when one of you asked her if there are other houses beside of me. Yeah, the right land is empty, as I said. The other two lands, there is property on them and people live in there, and I even took pictures of them because one of the lands, the house is going in deep, so it's technically the same position of my land. The second thing, I'm sorry. That mulch has been coming, just like she said, because of the year. It's been since the 70s up to now. It's about 40 years. But what I'm trying to do is I hired a surveyor, Mr. Coleman, and he's doing the elevation survey. So we're gonna do it the right way, properly, with concrete blocks and all that. So the house should be safe with that. And with getting this 10 feet. I don't want to put myself in a position when, in case of hurricane or water damage or anything,
Right.
I lose everything because that's all I have. My wife passed away a year ago, and this is some money I get from the insurance. And I had a heart attack. I'm not able to work as I used to. So I don't want to lose all my money and screw my life too. So I want to be in a safe position in general with what's going on. So if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer your questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions for him, Lance?
So you're not bringing in fill dirt to build this trailer up, are you? You're putting this trailer up on blocks and the ground is staying as it is?
Well, what we did, we brought some, because when they did, that's a good question, when they did the land clearing or change of land, so they had to dig a little lower when they move all those Brazilian peppers. So we had to fill it up back almost to the same level with the mulch.
So you're already done grading it, what it is right now?
We did. We still have not too much, just
Okay,
to
but
get
it's
it
pretty
level.
much
I didn't
done?
want to finish it until the surveyor comes and where
And
he
then you're
wanna
gonna jack this mobile home
to
up
be
on
put-
blocks?
Yeah, yes, on blocks.
And is there
Concrete blocks with the rebars, so to be strong. I mean the safer.
Is there city sewer there on that property, for that property?
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
water and sewer.
City water?
Water and sewer, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Are you planning on occupying this
Yes, sir.
yourself?
Yes, sir.
Do you own your home that you're living in now?
No,
No.
I moved from Nashville 4 years ago. I'm a chef. I used to work at Disney when I moved, and then we moved here. My wife didn't like Orlando, so I moved here. And since we moved, we've been living on Elda Lane, which is 1 block down, for now almost 4 years. So
And you're planning on occupying this home?
yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's why I try. That's why I spend that. I spend a lot of money, honestly. I spend a lot of money between this company, Tree Solution, and the surveyor and the elevation and all that. I spent quite a bit of money.
John, any questions for him?
No, the questions were answered prior from Lance's questions, so, no, I have no questions, thank you.
Bo?
Good as gold. Thank you.
Tom?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I'm a chef and I love Disney, that's all I have to say.
Well, Disney is a good company, but they kill you there. I'm glad they raised the minimum wage for employees.
Yeah.
I was a chef assistant. I made only $15. I came from Nashville. I used to work at Gaylord. I made $18+. So, but I love Disney too. Yeah.
Thank
I
you
see the
very
Mickey
much.
Mouse there.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Can we get the engineers to come up?
Who's the engineers?
It's our staff, so she has.
Yeah, well, staff. Yeah. You are an engineer, right?
I'm not an engineer.
Oh, okay.
But I can answer any questions. If
Okay.
I'll try.
I thought Penny said engineer.
She did stay in the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah. Lance?
I don't have any questions for
No?
you.
I just out of curiosity, how high is this thing gonna have to be elevated? Is this gonna look like a stilt house? Or is
No, it's
gonna
going to be very similar to the other homes,
Other homes on
just
grade.
across the street and nearby. Yeah.
Yeah. No? John?
No, everything was pretty much answered earlier, no, I'm good.
Tom?
No, thank you.
We're good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anything from the public? Anybody want to speak to this? No? I will entertain a motion.
I've got a question for Shannon first, if you could
Sure.
bear with me. Do we, only because the issue of this variance seems to be driven by the water mark, the water coming up higher than it was 30-some years ago, 36 years ago? If we approve this variance, do we have any liability if that water continues to rise and affects his property?
It would be an act of God.
Yeah.
It's just like every hotel on beachside or on the river.
But we wouldn't hold any liability for that.
You're only approving a setback.
Yeah.
You're not approving, building height or any of that. I think you're approving a setback.
You have a coastal setback.
You went to attorney school?
Yes.
I've lost a few.
I'm good.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve case number 19-90000008. Were there any, I didn't see any,
No, I don't
staff.
think so.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
John Junko,
Yes.
Bo Bofamy,
Yes.
Thomas Jordan,
Yes.
Lance Green,
No.
Newton White,
Yes.
Stan Schmidt,
Yes.
Chair Mills Burnett.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Are we jumping to 9 now?
Yes, now we are jumping to 9.
Too close there.
I tried to do that earlier, but you guys wouldn't let me. Small scale comprehensive plan future land use map amendment for 1200 Spartan Avenue and 5700 Spruce Creek Road. Case number 19-200000007. So many zeros, always.
I know, I'm sorry. Penelope Cruz, Planning. The subject property includes 2 parcels of land. You can see here on the picture.
Don't we have 2 of these on here for them? Oh,
This
no,
one
never
is
mind.
just them.
Yep.
The other one is
I'm with you.
administrative.
That's, the other one's tabled.
No, no.
No.
No, the next one
For-
is
for the
I can
following
open them
month?
both at once, right?
That's the 2 before this that we've already tabled.
Okay.
They're not,
Yeah,
or
the next one has
continued,
other
sorry.
properties.
Yes.
I remember
Alright.
that. Thanks.
This item is just for the 2 parcels located at 1200 Spartan Avenue and 5700 Spruce Creek Road. One is developed with longstanding commercial property, Vans Air Conditioning, and the other a mobile home. Vans Air Conditioning is a commercial business that's been on the subject property since the early 70s. However, the property's always been designated urban medium-density residential and been zoned for residential mobile homes since the 70s. I can't answer the question of why these things happened in the 70s.
Everything was cool
Apparently, we
back
need to
then.
go back in time and smack some people around.
I don't know. Sorry, I just realized that both issues were in the 70s, so I had to have a moment there.
I think the next one is too.
Change your explanation.
Right.
It's the 70s, man.
So, yeah, right. That's the theme of tonight. So the subject property has been a long-standing commercial site for over 40 years. That's been a long-standing non-conforming use because of the future land use and zoning being for residential, even though it's been used and developed as a commercial use. The property's recently been sold, and the new owners would like to develop both parcels as together as a new site plan for a health and exercise club. That proposed use is considered a change of use and requires the property to be brought up to code. So the applicant is requesting to change the future land use map designation for this subject property, which is just a tad under a quarter of an acre, from urban medium residential to office residential transition. This is the first step in bringing the property up to code, applying a non-residential category to the property to match its longstanding use. If it's approved, the owners will then, the next step after the land use and zoning would be to come in with a site plan to bring the property up to code. And with all developments, the site plan will have to be reviewed by the Staff Development Review Committee to make sure that it meets all the city's land development code regulations, concurrency regulations. So with that, staff is recommending approval of the future land use amendment and is here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Questions, Lance?
No, I think this is pretty cut and dry. Again, gotta get the land use right from the 70s, so yeah.
Yeah. Newton?
No, I figured out my only question. I figured it out all on my own. So
Look at you go.
Yeah. I was concerned we're changing the future land use, the flu, before we change the zoning. So I was thinking it needed to be the other way around, but I realized I'm wrong.
I'm good.
You good?
Doing a
John?
great job, Nate.
No, I am.
They're acquiring both lots.
Yes.
Now, do
They already have purchased the properties.
And they want to develop both lots.
They have to because in order to bring it up to code, they're gonna need to take this mobile home down and the parking's gonna need to be over here, the access off Spruce Creek, because it's gonna be developed properly as a commercial business, which can't have the access off the lower intensity road.
And this is based on their calculations that they're only gonna have at one time tops 10 people for private training?
Yes, the applicants here can speak
Okay.
to their business
All right.
model, but as was stated in the staff report, they're trying to do what's called, I guess, a boutique gym, and it's kind of focused more on personal training. They could probably speak to that a lot better than I
All
can.
right. Perfect. So basically, both lots will be developed. It'll incorporate parking for the projected amount of people they have in there, including the handicap. And, you know, Spruce Creek is strange. I mean, you got that road, and that Vans is the only really commercial, and then you trickle on down, you got the new church, and then we got neighbors. So that's really it. So, but, you know, and Vans, you just get so used to driving by there all the time, it's just, you know, you see it.
But it'll look better once it gets brought up to code than when
and I mean, it
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
really moved. It hasn't done anything right now.
Pictures
So
of 74.
yeah, okay, I'm okay for that. I'll probably have more
Rode by
questions for the
my
others.
bike by that thing many times.
Yeah,
And it's close, it's close to your house, so you don't have any excuse now.
No.
Sign them up.
No, I don't have any questions. Well, yeah, I do have one. There's 2 addresses on the property.
Yes, because they're two parcels.
Yeah.
When they come in for a site plan, there'll be a unity of title to join them as
Yeah, that was my
one.
question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Tom?
So, from what you said, the mobile home has to come down.
Correct, because they'll be doing their site improvements on that side for parking.
Cool.
Mhm.
Alrighty, thanks.
You're welcome.
And I'm good. So can we hear from the applicant?
Yeah.
Like to come up?
Please come up and state your name and address.
It's like Shark Tank.
It is like Shark Tank. What do you have?
I am Katie Volvoka,
And Charles Holmquist.
and we're at 6218 Yosemite Drive.
Thank you. Questions for the applicants, Lance?
No.
Newton?
No, looking forward to seeing I don't know if we'll be reviewing their plans when they bring a site plan to us or
No,
anything,
I
but
think we will.
looking forward to seeing something happen there. It's been a fixture. I can't remember what year I moved down there.
52.
Oh boy. Oh boy. You're in for it. No, I think it was more like 72, but and that's old enough. Thank you. But
It's been
he
there
said
since
I've
I was a kid.
ridden my bicycle by there many a time growing up, and it's going to be interesting, the myths and legends of what went on in the big block building.
Air conditioning, man.
Yeah, air conditioning, yeah. But I look forward to seeing that, and your concept with the boutique gym, with the personal training, it's working well elsewhere in town, and I like it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Stan?
No.
John?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity to plug, because you might be talking about the chamber, you're on POG TV now, so why don't you tell us a little bit of your specialized training that you want to do in this environment, in that area?
So for the most part, it's general population, but Katie here does have a certification in strength and conditioning as a specialist there.
Okay.
I have a, oh, sorry.
Talking like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
So, like I said, Katie has a specialty in strength and conditioning. So she'll be able to take athletes in there. I have a specialty in corrective exercise. So mostly post-rehabilitation. So if you go to a physical therapist or something like that, I'm the next step after that.
So it's a little rehabs going in there too.
Not necessarily rehab, like I said, post-rehab.
Okay.
I can't technically say rehab.
All right.
But yeah, if you go through rehab and you're looking for a next step, then we're a good opportunity for that.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Bo?
How many trainers will you have?
We have, including us, we have 4 right now.
Uh-huh.
I believe we're actually losing 1 in March. So as of now, we have 3. We're looking to add another 1 or 2, though.
Oh, what kind of equipment are you planning to have?
We're going to have general weightlifting equipment. So we're going to have squat racks, and we're going to have barbells, dumbbells. We'll have a couple cable machines. We're also going to dedicate a lot of the building to a classroom so that we can have small group training in there as well. With the small group training, there will be a max of 5 per class, just to make sure we stay under that 10-person threshold.
That'll be ideal for Junko. No.
There you go.
Tom?
Did I see you are IFBB? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Are you still active in that?
Yes, compete in the summertime.
Oh man, good for you.
Thank you.
You notice I haven't been doing that. I don't need a number. I just want to make sure that have you got a good estimate of what it's going to cost you to bring these 2 properties up to code?
No, not an exact number, no.
No, I wasn't looking for a number. I mean,
Okay.
have you looked at what it's going to take? Have you guys talked with anybody about?
Right, we know approximately what it will take to get the trailer off of 5700. And then we're...
A lot of it was taken care of by the seller as well. Before we closed, he brought the electrical up to code. So some of it will just be, once it's rezoned, making sure that that portion is up to code, but just regular standard, it is okay for now.
Okay, all right.
Gotcha.
That's good. That's all I had.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see. I love seeing young people with entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm excited for you guys to take this property and kind of make it better and revive it and refresh it. So,
Thank you.
any other questions for them? Nope. Thank you guys very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Any comments from the public? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve case number 19-20000007.
Second.
First and a second. Call the roll, please.
John Junko?
Yes.
Bo Bofme?
Yes.
Thomas Jordan?
Yes.
Lance Green?
Yes.
Newton White?
Yes.
Stan Schmidt?
Yes.
Chair Mills Burnett?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Good luck. Looking forward
Good
to
luck,
seeing
guys.
it.
Yeah. I keep wanting to vote right after John. It's habit.
Don't worry. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay, item number 10, administrative rezoning, 1200 Spartan Avenue, 5700 Spruce Creek Road, 4020 Nova Road, 33997 Nova Road, 4025 Nova Road, and 4031 Nova Road. Case number 19-6000007.
Gwen Perney, planner. This proposed administrative rezoning includes 3 areas, which are highlighted here on the PowerPoint. Staff have been looking at PCDs around town that either didn't have MDAs or were more restrictive, and then this issue with the area number 1 came up on Spartan. So we decided to bundle these 3 together because they're close proximity. We'll start with area number 1. Which is the 1200 Spartan and 5700 Spruce Creek. In order to be consistent with the future land use, staff is proposing to rezone that property to professional office. The professional office zoning district is a zoning category that's more for small scale, community scale office and service uses, such as offices, medical offices, personal services, and health exercise clubs. Currently, we know the property owners and what they want to do with the property. So the professional office would allow them to go into that property with the correct zoning, and then in the future also have additional uses in case another property owner comes along.
But not too many additional uses.
Right. So this is the general area there. Areas 2 and 3 are both proposed to be rezoned from planned commercial development to community commercial for slightly different reasons. Some examples that we've done in the past would be the Regal Center where the old movie theater was on Nova Road. We rezoned that from planned commercial to community commercial. And then the other one was the old Kmart where Peach Valley Cafe is at the public shopping center. So this is in line with that kind of rezoning. Area number 2 is currently the Spruce Creek Center shopping center, and it is currently zoned PCD. It does have an MDA, however the uses are restrictive, more restrictive than the current community commercial zoning. So what staff is proposing for that is to rezone to community commercial to allow for a few more uses such as fitness club, chiropractor. Those types of uses currently aren't allowed at that shopping center. And then with the Riverwood Shopping Center, it's a planned commercial development that does not have an MDA. So it reverts back to Chapter 17 in Land Development Code, which does have some permitted uses, but again, it isn't as it doesn't have as many variety of uses as the community commercial zoning district. Staff reviewed the rezonings for consistency with the future land use and the comprehensive plan and the surrounding zoning districts, and found that they would be consistent with these proposed zoning categories. So staff is recommending approval of the 3 areas, approximately 2.3 acres from residential mobile home to professional office, approximately 4.16 acres from Spruce Creek Center planned commercial development to community commercial, and then approximately 15 acres from planned commercial development to community commercial.
Okay, questions, Lance?
No, I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think it's right what we need to do.
Newton?
No questions.
Stan?
Yes. Is this something that you need to talk to the owners of the property about, or are they?
We do have the property owners' approval. Yes, they were on board. We
Okay.
got signatures from all the property owners involved in the rezonings.
So when we're rezoning this, that would overrule the MDA, since there, I believe you said there wasn't MDA on the.
Right, so when it
2 and
gets
3?
rezoned from planned commercial development to community commercial,
Right.
we wouldn't use the PCDs anymore. We would just use community commercial in the land development code, which has the permitted uses as well as setbacks and the standard code requirements that would be required.
Okay. I'm a little new at this, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
okay.
to get all the pieces in line.
Mhm.
That's it.
You good? John?
No, Stan answered one of the questions I had regarding make sure the owners are aware that you're
Mhm.
changing zonings to the
Yeah, we
to their
got them
property.
applications from them.
And I think they're gonna be happy about that. And as I understand this, which is a compliment to your staff, you're basically foresee the future development of this, looked at the existing conditions, and you're taking it upon yourself to figure out, you know what, let's do this because we see the pattern here. Let's do it now because it'll probably make it more efficient for future development when they want to do something with the property. Is that about right?
Yes, correct.
Can't be upset about that. So sounds good.
Bill?
No, no questions. Thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, so this puts us all under normal zoning then, doesn't it? It just
They would be under conventional,
Yeah.
regular city zoning
makes it a lot
categories.
easier for going forward. The only thing I noticed was the bank on that corner. Well, is that a bank? I think that's a bank.
Yes.
It was,
Yeah.
was.
What's there
It's
now?
not anymore?
It's an empty building.
Was it?
That was Wells Fargo.
Yeah, it was Wells Fargo. Well, that's
No, no,
across the street.
I'm
The
talking about-
PNC is.
Oh, it was PNC, that's right.
It's there, and they were on board, but we didn't get their signature in time.
Ah,
So
okay.
that one's gonna stay PCD for now, and we'll just collect them up in the next batch.
And it's
hopefully.
PCD without an MDA like the rest of it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we have more of these sitting around the
Mhm.
city? Good. Okay, that's all I have.
That's what I was gonna ask, was there more around that we need to do this with?
Hopefully, we'll just take them in chunks. These three properties are within a half mile of each other, so.
Yeah.
So it was
makes
easy.
sense.
'70s apparently weren't very good to us, so.
I will comment that a few years ago I tried to get a lease for a tenant in one of these plazas, and they weren't able to secure the permit for it because of the zoning, because of it being so narrowly limited. And at that time, I guess this goes back 3 years or so, I've kind of been campaigning to get this stuff done administratively, or at least get the people to apply to do it.
Right.
So that we don't have so much vacant space, basically because of how many people are denied a permit or told that the land use isn't able to put the type of business that they want to put in the shopping center. So this is something that's been a long time coming
Yeah.
to get here, and I'm happy to
Years
see it.
ago in my previous life, I used to own a store in that Winn-Dixie shopping plaza.
Mm.
It's a
Do
long
tell.
time ago.
Back in the 70s.
Listen, people. Okay. Any comments from the public on this? Come on up. You know the drill.
Commission members, Robert Reinhagen, 1425 Dexter Drive, Port Orange. My only question has to do with, I don't see the consistency between the two up here and the one down here, because one is a non-conforming use and the other's already commercial. And so my question is, when it goes before the city council, will it be presented as one thing, or will they be separated?
I'm pretty sure you'll present it just like you did here. It'll all kind of be bundled up together. They're just trying to make it easier to bundle them together and make them uniform.
Thank you.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
I will be happy to move to approve case number 19-600000007.
A second.
Call the roll, please.
John Junko.
Yes.
Bill Bophamy.
Yes.
Thomas Jordan.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Stan Schmidt.
Yes.
Chair Mills Burnett.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Other business, commissioner comments. Lance, I know you got some.
Nope.
You are lying to me right now.
Maybe.
Maybe. Circle back to him at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, he wants to circle back under staff comments, I'm sure. He wants to
I do
bug
got one
Tim.
question. Tim, so have we had any luck or any future progress with the gas station next to the Waffle House getting through with the Walgreens and the particular little cut through? Any update on that?
We know that the property owner has been trying to get in contact with them, and we have worked with them to get some numbers. I'll have to check back on it with him, but I know he is actively trying to get in contact with them. We use our resources to get him some numbers on that one then, I know we sent him the application to submit the improvements this afternoon, so I think it's trending in the right direction to get that not only approved and up and running, but also to get that cross access easement installed here shortly.
Yay.
Awesome. I think that's gonna be a big plus down there, but.
I
okay.
agree.
I
Thank you,
think
Tim.
he's doing the improvements now, like on the exterior, you're starting to work on those then. It's just, we're still working with them on that access because we want to see it done too. So we're trying to help as much as we can possibly do.
Was that not part of the variance as far as being allowed to have a
Well,
less
that's a-
buffer and such?
That was part of the site improvements in order to get the CO to operate then. So that's basically the site code requirement that we're working on then.
Gotcha, okay.
Nothing else? Newton?
No, I think I've pretty well exhausted all of my stuff already talking to Tim.
Stan? John?
No, but on a personal level, he's helped me do a piece of property, and they've been helping me, bending over backwards, and it's just nice to work with them on a different level. Instead of being up here, I'm down there. They're helping me out, and I do appreciate all the work they do.
Awesome. Bo?
Tighten up the rules on him, will you?
Right.
Watch him like a hawk.
It's gonna be fun seeing you as the applicant one day, John.
Oh, it may be very well.
That'll be fun right now.
Make sure
report.
your mic, make sure your mic is on.
Yeah, you never know. You'll be laughing at this moment in a few months.
You don't want to do it. I do have a question for you. I don't know if you know anything about this, but a lot of the realtors in town are a little bit upset about the sign removal. Signs, and open house signs.
Oh, for open houses.
Code enforcement.
That's code enforcement.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that. So who do we talk to?
I get you the number offline here.
I appreciate it.
Bo, get with me after. I can tell you a little bit about it.
He knows it too.
Apparently Newton has already
Yes,
been
he
there.
does.
Is that it, Bo?
Yep.
Tom?
A quick question about Barker Construction over there on Ridgewood.
Yes.
Built a lot.
Pre-construction, about the development of it then?
Yeah.
Pre-construction meeting was held today. I believe they have within 60 days from today to complete the necessary landscape and screening requirements then. So we'll be keeping that on track as that moves forward then.
So 60 days from today.
Today.
Okay. Are they aware of the parking restrictions on that lot? Didn't we put parking restrictions in front?
The site plan? Basically.
No, back when we rezoned that, I don't know if it was a rezoning.
Well, it's basically there was a site plan approved on that one for when it was Auto Pond.
Yes.
There was some parking. Basically, those restrictions were based off the parking that they provided.
Okay.
As part of Barkerscape, they're doing site improvements too, to take care of the parking for an office use then.
Okay.
So basically, they submitted a site plan to be the contractor yard and storage use then. So they're meeting all those code requirements on that site plan. Now they have 60 days to construct those improvements.
Okay. Thanks.
Newton had another comment.
Because Tom brought me back down to that neighborhood, Dave's Pest Control.
Yes.
They got their dumpsters hanging out there in the open. They don't have a dumpster enclosure. They have not changed a bit of the landscape except maybe pulled out some dead plants since they've occupied that site. Are they literally up to what they're supposed to be as the new tenant in the change of use from a car lot to their lot there, or?
Yeah, we are currently working with them on a couple different fronts. Basically, that does qualify as part of our targeted business. It is basically a use that is bringing jobs into that area, which we were looking for. So it qualifies in those requirements. And also, too, we're looking at possible phasing agreement with them to phase some of those improvements, which they also qualify then. They have put up a fence around their yard for their vehicles for storage, and we do have some landscape plans for them. I think they're waiting for it to get a little bit warmer before they start doing some of the landscape improvements.
So this is ongoing.
Yeah, we've been working with them for a while now.
And just curious, will it, not every site requires a dumpster enclosure, but their dumpsters are sitting.
We're working with them on that then.
Okay, great. Great.
Staff comments while you're here?
No comments?
Can I get one more question in?
Go for it.
Told you.
Madeline Williamson, what's going on there? The building looks like it's getting finished. I mean, it looks somewhat finished. What we got going there?
We got till May.
Yeah, you're correct. Basically, they finished up that front porch a few months ago, and did some exterior cleaning of it then. We are still on that property owner because there are a lot of site improvements that need to be completed by the end of May. Landscaping, parking lot, buffers, repainting of the building. There are a lot of improvements that need to be met there to meet that deadline. So we continually, once a month, I think, email them to remind them that deadline, and our pre-construction meetings needed then. So we are staying on top of it as best we can.
Does he have to have an engineer make sure that the calculations of the retention pond
The
are
engineers,
correct?
the site plan's already been submitted and reviewed and approved, so all that engineering work has already been done. It's a matter of the contractor going out there and doing the work then.
Gotcha.
So they indicated to us they want to start the work by the end of January, so they have a...
We're here.
They have a week.
Right. So,
Are they
but
planning
we...
on selling that property?
I'm not sure what the owner's intent is. When we last spoke to him 6 months ago was to make those improvements and try to rent it out then. All we're trying to do is basically get the site and building up to code before the end of May.
Yeah, get it on the tax base.
Go ahead, Sam.
Remind me of something else. What's the progress on the fish restaurant out there by the?
Riverwalk?
Yeah.
We have the site plan in review. We got that around the around Christmas time. So we've reviewed that. Staff has. It's back in the engineer's hand. As we understand, that should be resubmitted here within the next week or so. For the site plan, then we're still waiting on the building plans though to come in. So
What were they supposed to have done by September? I thought they were supposed to be.
the restaurant built.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that kind of seems like
September
it
of
would be a
this year.
miracle.
Let's not ruin the meeting.
September of last year.
No, September of this year.
Of this
September of
so we
this year.
extended
Oh,
it.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Most likely there will be an MDA amendment in the future coming before the planning commission.
Do we know the
We'll
brand?
prepare for that.
Do we know the brand?
What's that?
Do we know the brand, the builder?
Oh yeah.
What is?
Oh,
Fish
the
something.
builder or the brand
No,
of
the
the
brand,
restaurant?
I'm sorry. The,
Franchise?
franchise.
It's not a. I
It
think
wasn't-
it's
not a
the
franchise.
restaurant
Place
group.
out of
Yeah.
South Florida.
Yeah.
So
It's on the
It's supposed to be a fish
online,
restaurant.
it's on the online community development map system.
Yes, it
Actually
is.
Tells you all that.
That I finally got through the link.
You'll have to change that then.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You guys did pretty good keeping me off of there.
To move it around.
Page not available. Oops.
Thank you, Tim.
No problem.
Any comments from the public? Nothing?
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.